Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday session of Crew Connect. We do have, as we're waiting for more participants to join, we do have some exciting news that we received this morning, and that is that Smart Health has given us the approval for these daily Crew Connects to be counted for participation. So make sure you are logging your participation in that Smart Health app. If that is something that you are enrolled in. So if you have questions about that, there is information on the HRS website about Smart Health and the benefits of tracking different activities. So again, these daily Crew Connects, as you participate in them, will count toward that. Today, what we're going to be talking about, the last several weeks, we've been talking about different things about process improvement and ways to work more effectively together as a team. And today we're going to be talking about getting out of the mental rut. So brainstorming as a team to advance creative thinking on different process ideas that you may have already come up with as you've been thinking through different processes that we've been doing the way we've been doing them because that's just historically how it's been done. And so I'll give you a few ideas on some actual process ideas for brainstorming. Often I've seen teams just get together in a room and say, okay, we're going to brainstorm, and it kind of dies there. So sometimes if you can do it with an intentional structure, the brainstorming can be a little bit more effective. So in being creative in the work that we're doing, we're either a part of the solution or we're a part of the problem, or sometimes we can be both. At times we can be solution focused, and at times we can be the barrier that's keeping process and ideas from moving forward. And I like this quote that I was able to find, and it didn't specify who the individual was that said this, but I really liked it. And it said, to get to some places, you have to derail your train of thought and head into the trackless unknown. And to me, that really is what ties into this idea of brainstorming, because it is a way as a group that you can explore new ideas and make decisions with more information, more perspective, and more opinions. That way we're not stuck in our own little boxes of what we see the best way to move forward. So being creative as a team allows us to actively look for opportunities to improve, again, getting that variation of different perspectives, seek solutions to challenges and to problems. It allows us to set aside that specific time to be creative, both individually as well as a team. We can define specific topics to work on. We can increase our creativity skills and tools. A lot of our team members have those creativity tools, and they can share those and use those in these processes. And we can focus on ways to improve the routine, the urgent, the risky, and other types of tasks and matters that tend to diminish creativity. A lot of times when we have matters that we're addressing urgently, we get into that firefighting mode, and we forget to step back with our team and brainstorm more effective ways to engage in some of those processes. So as you think about brainstorming, really one of the things to remember is there are no bad ideas. So brainstorming is a time that everybody can add differentiated perspectives and ideas onto the table, because some of the thoughts that one individual may have that may not end up being something that's feasible for engaging in change management and changing processes might trigger for someone else on the team an idea that ends up really kind of that snowball effect where you build on that and you build on that, and you've got great and fantastic new ideas based on things that originally didn't seem like they were going to be feasible. People should call out ideas quickly, so it shouldn't be something that people are taking time formulating a lot of thought around. Really anything that comes to mind when it comes to that topic should be thrown out and should be captured. Capturing the ideas on a flip chart is something that I always recommend. I actually really like those Post-it note flip charts where you can write ideas down and then you can tack them up on the wall. The reason that I really like the idea of using a flip chart to capture those ideas is it does give individuals who are involved in that brainstorming activity and session the opportunity to be looking around the room at different ideas that have come up, and that can start to help formulate different ideas. When we're doing brainstorming, everyone should be involved. So it shouldn't be one of these processes where, you know, the leader of the team or the responsible party for a project is that main voice. It should be something where everybody in the room can be providing their differentiated perspectives and ideas, because that's going to really help us to get to the point of the best creativity for the team. I always recommend review the rules of brainstorming together as a team before you get started, so everyone understands that they do have a part in the process, that you are going to be capturing all of the ideas. You can even set some ground rules about crosstalk and things of that nature, making sure that individuals do have a voice and have a time to be heard during brainstorming sessions. If you have an important brainstorm that you're engaged in that's not just a routine brainstorm, you may want to do a warm-up. A lot of times in the morning, our brains take a little bit of time to get in that mode of throwing out different topic ideas. And so you can do a quick 30-second practice warm-up session before you engage in the serious topic, just to get everybody used to the structure and how you'll be engaging in the section or the session. Being creative means connecting what's not connected. So if you think about, you know, plugging two extension cords into each other, that really is what this brainstorming idea is. And it can help people to get the process started by throwing something out that's not a critical topic. It might even be something fun and not work related whatsoever. You know, you could brainstorm different types of tropical fruit, and everybody can be throwing out those ideas, and it gets their brain into that mode of just idea making. Thinking about the timing of a brainstorm is really important. Engaging in those high thought activities immediately as someone's getting into the workplace at the beginning of the day, when they haven't had a moment to really set up their office and engage in their traditional activities as they begin their day, could be a really bad time. It plays into some of those team dynamics that you need to think about. At what times of the day does your team engage in those critical thought processes the best? I've seen a lot of teams that will do it right before lunch, which is a really bad idea because people are hungry, and they're probably thinking about food, and so it's probably not the best time to get into some of those thought processes. And on the converse, there are some teams that will try to do it immediately after lunch, when some people end up feeling sluggish as they're digesting maybe a big meal. And so thinking about other times of the day, maybe mid-morning and late afternoon, are more effective times to engage in these type of activities. So just to give you a little bit of a structure, you could have your warm-up topic where, you know, you're throwing out just a really quick, maybe even a fun brainstorm that's not necessarily business related, just to get everybody in the process of thinking through. Definitely that's a point in time where you review the rules of brainstorming. Then you talk about the team topic. You probably have already gone through an exercise of the process to really talk about what the barriers and concerns are that have been identified. And so you can take that and write down what those barriers and concerns are as the brainstorming topic. And so what are the causes of the barriers and the concerns? And those are going to be where the majority of your brainstorming is spent. Then you're going to talk about the solutions to the barrier or the concern, and that's where the rest of the brainstorming is going to be spent. So again, for a lot of these sessions that I've helped facilitate with teams, the barriers and the concerns that have been identified are identified prior to the brainstorming, but then the causes and the solutions of those really is the main focus for the actual brainstorming session as a team. What I have found though is sometimes even in brainstorming, when we're trying to be creative and to get to new ideas, we still can get into some ruts of doing the same type of thinking that is kind of those built-in automated responses to certain categories. So what I recommend is you get partway through the brainstorm as the ideas are starting to maybe level out a little bit and you're not getting new informations and topics, is for the team to take all of that information and to identify categories and themes of the information that's been provided. And again, take it and put it onto those big 3D post-it notes or 3M sticky post-it notes are my favorite, where you can, by theme, categorize the different ideas. And then you can think about what are categories and themes that you didn't capture that maybe you need to capture, that you thought would organically be covered as a part of the session. And so how can you think about some sideways thinking where you're identifying different categories and themes that weren't captured, and then brainstorm those ideas within those categories and themes. And so that's an added step to a brainstorming that I think sometimes gets missed. And so we miss out on a lot of new and creative ideas that we could get otherwise. So next session is going to be a mindfulness session. Next week, we actually, my session, we're going to be talking about how to move proposals forward. So you've gone through process improvement, you've gone through some brainstorming, you're starting to put a proposal forward. What's the best way for doing that? And again, for anybody who missed it, Smart Health has approved these Cook Connect sessions. So you can go into your Smart Health app or your online account and make sure that you're tracking these different sessions that you participate in. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday.